Hey YouTube, it's Wes. Hope you guys are doing great. I am here in downtown Wichita. I'm actually here for some client meetings. I've been all over the country as of late, all through Florida, over through Denver, and a bunch of other places that I don't have time to mention. And that's really what stalled a lot of my videos. But you guys know me, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I'm not trying to be. And so I produce content when I have the capability and the time. So welcome to my channel. In today's video, you don't want to miss this. You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about what the heck to do when the market crashes. There's some great opportunities in all of this. These are not times that you should be scared. These are times you should get excited. And I'm going to tell you why in this video with some tips that I use all the time. So you don't want to miss it. All this and a whole bunch more coming right up. All right, my friends, thank you guys so much for joining. Wes Spencer here. Really glad you guys are with me. Hey, one thing you need to do, hit like, hit subscribe. This channel is not like all of the other YouTube channels out there. There's no moon pumping. There's none of that, like this crypto's going to the moon and then the next day I tell you to sell it all. No. I do the things that interest me, which is all about technology. I am a startup entrepreneur and I love cybersecurity and crypto. And so this channel is that for me. That's specifically what it is. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about today is some research options that avail you. One thing that people ask a lot is, how do I find those diamonds in the rough? They also say, am I going to be rich like investing in like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the classics that are out there? So I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to answer how you can find diamonds in the rough and how you can sort of split out cryptos that are a little bit more unique and maybe more risky from those that are stalwarts, that are tried and true, and how each has their own investment strategy. Now, of course, I'm not your investor, so take everything with a grain of salt, consult your investor. This is not financial advice. So we're going to jump in. We're going to talk specifically about a couple of those things so you can really get the knowledge that you need to make those right decisions when it comes to crypto. So the first thing we're going to talk about is some of the stalwarts that are out there, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, the big ones, even Cardano, the ones that everybody is buying. I'm going to answer that question of like, what does an investment strategy there look like? And then we're going to jump into like the second tiers of cryptos, like some that are really hitting the market and have been of the past year, like Solana, for example. And then we're going to get to what I call burn tokens, high risk tokens, meme tokens, and new projects that are coming out that may do really well over time. And we're going to talk about why some of those can be good strategies and how and why and where each one fits when they need to inside your investment strategy. So my favorite place to jump into all of this is CoinMarketCap. Now there's probably a few of these research sites that you can go to that really let you gather intelligence on crypto projects, whether they're brand new, whether they're doing something interesting or they fit certain criteria. But I've learned to just love CoinMarketCap because it's a great spot for us to really start to like dig into the things that we want to look at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we're actually do this today. So there's a lot of ways that you can do all of this. And I've talked about CoinMarketCap quite a few times on this channel. You guys know I really like it. So there's some things you can do like trending cryptos and things like that. You can also build your own watch list, all of that. But today we're going to do something a little bit more unique. I'm going to scroll over to the side and we're going to take a look at filters. And filters are pretty important because first of all, the ones they give you by standard can just help in like sorting through some things. So, you know, what kind of crypto it may be. Maybe you're really wanting to get into, you know, I don't know, like oracles. You're like, hey, let's see what like top oracles are out there, right? So I can go click on that and then it gives me a list of some of these. And that really helps you understand, oh, okay, so like Chainlink and UMA are like somewhat competitive. You can kind of dive into all of that. Beyond looking at like the specific category, you can look at the algorithm that it uses. I don't find this to be particularly helpful for me, but just know that it's out there. You can also begin to look at platforms. You guys know I cover a lot of different platforms that are out there, especially I dive into a lot of stuff around the Cosmos chain and really the Cosmos network quite a bit. Industries, I think that's pretty interesting. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually go to add filter and we're going to look for a couple things that I think are pretty helpful. So when I'm sort of looking through cryptos, at the very beginning of this video, I told you there's like the stalwarts that are out there, right? In fact, I don't even need, let me just close this. I don't even need to like apply filters. I can see, you know, all the top 10, top 25, these are all stalwarts. In other words, generally speaking, you know, you put $100 or $1,000 into this, you're not going to get like Moon Lambo rich on any of these, right? They've been out too long. Their market caps are too large. They're too established. that doesn't mean that they're bad cryptos to invest in, right? It's sort of like, investing in the stock market. You put money into Tesla, Apple, Google, Facebook, all the ones that are out there that, typically have been known to perform well over time. Same kind of thing. It's not a bad investment. But if you're looking for like high gains, these are not typically going to be the ones for you. These are the ones that you want to invest in, you want to hold for a long period of time and just watch those grow. But what about outside of that? Well, that's where these filters come into place. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click back onto Add Filter. And there's a lot of different things you can look in here for. There's a lot of new things that you might want to take a peek at. So one of those is market cap. So you should know what market cap is. If you don't, it's just the total value. It's basically a calculation of the total current supply times the value of the crypto, like what it's trading at. So it's very easy math to get there. And notice that they have, you can build your own market cap ranges, but in today's video, we're just going to focus on specifically a couple different market caps. So you can kind of get an understanding of what's happening here. So you have some that are under 1 million. These are either brand new cryptos or they're completely failed cryptos. So that's something to look at. And then this 1 million to 10 million, this is kind of a sweet spot, right? So cryptos that have gone past 1 million in market cap, there's enough to it to where it's generating some amount of interest. It's grown and it's not like something to completely be laughed at, right? But it's still young, it's still new. And then you hit this next category that you see here of 10 million to 100 million, and then we go up from there. And we know, of course, Bitcoin at the time of this video is, it's always hovering between a $1 and a $2 trillion market cap. So there are some very large cryptos that are out there. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start really simple. Let's take a look at some new and emerging. In fact, let's just go to the very beginning. So let's look at like under 1 million market cap. And I'm gonna hit show results on these. There's a good chance that every single one of these, you guys are gonna have no idea what they are. Same with me. These are either brand new cryptos or ones that have failed. And we can take a peek at some of these, and it's okay for you to look across and be like, I don't know any of these. Again, they're tiny market caps. These are kind of like penny stocks, right? In the sense of like, are they really going to blow up in price? Are they not? Well, who's to say, right? These are extremely risky. Many of these, if not most of them, will fail or will trade sideways and never really go anywhere. So this is an interesting place to start if you want to look for like tiny, tiny, tiny cryptos. But the truth is we can actually do a lot more of filtering. So what if we want to bring this up and say, okay, we're going to look at this, small under 1 million market cap, so brand new and emerging, but let's actually look at a couple other things as well. Let's look at maybe volume. So we want to take a look and we want to say, okay, I'm looking for some diamonds in the rough that are brand new, that are tiny, but are trading a lot. In other words, there's a lot of activity. Now, we may not get anything if I apply this filter here, so like over 1 million. So think about it this way. We're looking for a crypto whose market cap is under 1 million, but is actually trading on a 24-hour day basis of over 1 million. What will that bring up? So let's hit show results. And look at that. There are a few that show up. So that's kind of interesting, right? It might give us some kind of idea of, well, why are we seeing such high, volume trades when the market cap is so small? What's going on with this AFIN blockchain? And you might want to take a look at this. And hear me, guys, I'm not recommending that this is the magic signal to go find. I'm just helping you explore and find new options when you're hungry and looking for something new and different. So then we could jump into this and say, well, what's going on in this ecosystem that it's causing it to have such high trading volume, but is actually kind of tiny on market cap. So we could take a peek at this. Let's go to the 1 year all time, see how long. So this one's been out for a few months and it's actually gone downward in its value, right? So that's interesting for sure. I don't know anything about this crypto, but this may be one that you're like, okay, it's interesting to me. Why the fact that it's got such high trading volume, but its price is so low and its market cap is so low. So see how this kind of works. It's a fun way to really discover new and emerging cryptos that may just come across your desk as like very interesting ones. So that's one of the things I like to look at is these like little tiny ones. But for me, by and large, under 1 million market cap is way too risky. When I'm looking for new projects and ones that have a lot of interest, the categories I really like are anything below 1 billion and anything below usually like 500 million. I kind of look at those as two categories I like to look at. So let's actually bypass this 1 to 10 million and let's jump into this one. So 10 million to 100 million. These are cryptos. And let's make sure we don't have any volume in here at all. Okay, good. So these are going to be cryptos that are, for the most part, ones that are really doing well, but have a lot of room to grow. In other words, they're ones that like they've done a good job with how they're marketing, what they're doing. they've shown a lot of potential, but as we know, many crypto projects that do well easily get into $1 billion to 10 billion and even higher market cap. So that means there's room for a lot of these to grow. So we can take a peek at some of these. And, for example, here's Acropolis. I don't know anything about them. We can see that they're just shy of a 100 million market cap, which is why this came up in the search filter. And notice they're trading at 13 million. So you might say, wow, this one really fits my criteria that I'm looking for. And so you can take a peek at some of these and see which ones may come across as very interesting to you. I have found this to be a really fun way to explore. Now, again, just because these show up do not mean like the top 5 I'm going to put money into and I'm going to invest in. No, I just look at these as like, okay, I've never heard of Kudos. This one looks really interesting, right? Again, it fits. It's barely under 100 million. It's trading 1.6 million. It seems to be pretty interesting, a huge supply. So obviously it's why it's such a low price at 4 cents. So maybe I click into this and that's when I start exploring. And I start saying, what's Kudos all about? What's it built on? This looks like it's an Ethereum token. It does have an audit that's out there. I can take a look at, a little bit right here. Generally speaking, CoinMarketCap will show me kind of who they are and what they do. So it's a decentralized compute network. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else here. EVM and WASM capabilities, so that's good for smart contracts, as we know, blah, blah, blah. So you can take a look at some of this and read and say, yeah, wow, this one really fits for something that's new for me, and I like where it's going. This is how you can find some new and emerging cryptos. Now, would I imagine or recommend that it'd be smart to go all in on one of these and drop in like the max amount of money that you have? If you have $500 to spend and you drop 500 into it, no, I would typically not do that, right? These are still extremely risky because they're small. So this is a fun way that I have found to really dive into different cryptos and really play with filters to find unique and interesting cryptos that are either brand new and emerging, that are growing quickly, or have a lot of room to grow. So let's do one more, just an exploration. So let's look at ones that are a little bit more established. Let's look at ones that are just about to 1 billion. And I'm not too worried at this point on volume because any that are going to have that high of a market cap are going to have enough volume typically to satisfy. So we're going to hit apply filter here, show results, and once again, here we go. So there may be some interesting ones that you've not heard of. For example, I've heard of Sia Coin or Sia Coin. I know them. I know of Horizon. I don't own either of them, but I know them. I know Ren Bitcoin. Of course, I know Celsius, right? Those guys are awesome, and there's their CEL token. But here's one I don't know. See how cool this is? It really kind of shows new things to me. So this is just under $1 billion market cap, trading pretty high in volume. So I'm going to click in and see what the heck is Perpetual Protocol all about. It looks like it's an Ethereum token. I can scroll down. We can see where it's gone in the market. We can really hit, year to date to see. It looks like it's had some slow and steady growth over time. It does appear to be somewhat volatile, but that's typical. So nothing to be too concerned with here. And now we can take a look at it. So Perpetual was launched in late 2019. So it's been around quite a bit. Oh, and it came out under Strike. I don't know if that has anything to do with like the Bitcoin Strike and Lightning and all those groups. I doubt it. But it looks like it builds on a Uniswap inspired AMM. Okay, so it's an AMM. It's an automated market maker for like trading, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there you go. So now we see what this thing is. So this one's pretty interesting to me, right? And it's to me, it's got a lot of room to grow, but it's done well. It's been around for quite a bit of time. So at this point, I might take a peek at it and say, well, let's take a look at their website and see what they have to offer. So I can do this right here. There is their website. It looks like perp.fi. There you go. And we could take a look and see what this thing is all about. See if you like it, see if it fits your needs and your constraints, and if it's a good purchase to make. So I have really found this to be a great way to explore and really help me understand some of these key categories. I want to go back to this again and review these categories with you, right? You have the stalwarts category, the market caps that are anywhere from like billions of dollars to maybe even $1 trillion. Right? So we have those really large market cap cryptos, like pick Cardano right here, at a $60 billion market cap, right? So really, really big. Those I think are great to invest in. They're going to do well over time. You're not going to get rich overnight. And then we have that second tier, that second category that if we look, and again, this is just my view of, what it might look like, but let's go back to this guy here, add filter, and that second category of like the second level, to me, are market caps that are somewhere in this range here, right? They're not quite at $1 billion market cap. So maybe somewhere, but like lower than 1 billion, higher than about 500 billion. They're doing well. Those are the ones that are going to make you filthy rich overnight. No, they're probably not either, but they've been de-risked a little bit more because we know they've grown. We know they've done well. We know that they have some amount of like product market fit and there's some amount of attraction to it. And then we have the high risk, high reward ones that you can almost guarantee you're throwing away your money unless you apply a lot of intelligence behind these. And these are the ones that are the sub 10 million, even down into the sub 1 million. They're either brand new or they've been around for a little while and they're just not doing well for some kind of reason, but maybe there's just a reason for it to break out. And these are the ones, you know, you put $500, $1,000 in and it happens to blow up. And again, hear me, I'm not saying any of those are going to do it, but if one of them did, that's sort of your high risk, high reward. And so I think this is an interesting way for us to take a peek at some of these cryptos that are out there and really get an understanding when we're looking to find particular projects that fit in some of those current criteria that would help us. And again, I just want to say this one last time. This is not financial advice, so use this very carefully when you're doing your own diligence and understand the risk levels that go into each of these when you're looking to make those purchases, because I think that will really help you navigate those waters better to pick the right projects for you according to your risk tolerances and criteria and all that. So that's how I do it. That's how I find new projects. People ask me that all the time. And this is it's to me a lot of fun just to dive in and discover and find new things. And there's of course a lot more than just market cap and volume, but that's a good two items you can look at to really start to find projects that cause interest. And then from there, you start to look at who's the technology, what's it trying to solve for, how long have they been around, who are the founders, what are they trying to do, are they funded by anybody like Coinbase Ventures or any of the other VCs that are out there, and overall just impressions of what they're trying to do and how you think it might fit in the market. So that's kind of how I like to look at these. I'd love to know what you guys think. What are some things that you look for when you're diving in and you're doing your research? Anything that's like particularly helpful for you? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to know what those may be. And as always, my friends, I hope you guys stay safe. Thanks for spending some time with me. As always, hit like and subscribe if you like this video. Share this with a friend. All of that goes a really long way. All right, my friends, thank you so much.